What is up, guys? EJ here, back with another video, and today it's going to be my Blu-ray DVD update for March 11th 2014. So I've got 8 new Blu-rays to show you, all from 2012. Yes, I'm still working on my wish list from 2012. So yeah, there's some okay movies in here, some pretty good ones. Not great films in my opinion, but all these movies I enjoyed to some extent when I saw them. So let's get started. Up first, we have the only one that came with a slipcase, and that is the Bourne Legacy, of course, starring Jeremy Renner and Rachel Weisz. I enjoyed this film, but I didn't think it was really necessary before it came out. The Bourne trilogy, as it was, with Matt Damon, I thought was just fine. So going into this film, I really didn't think we needed another Bourne film. But it's an okay movie, but I like the original 3 a lot better than this film. Yeah, I like Jeremy Renner, and I'm a big fan of Rachel Weisz, of course. It's got a good cast: Edward Norton, Joan Allen, Albert Finney. Very technical, this film. A lot of the stuff that Rachel Weisz talks about during the film is very sort of this medical jargon that's quite hard to understand. And one scene really did put me off in this film, and that's when the lab technician basically goes on a killing spree and kills everybody in the lab, because this came out at a time when mass shootings was all in the news. I mean, it has been for the last few years, and so that scene in particular really sort of wasn't really very appropriate, I thought, at the time of this movie. But it's an okay film. Don't really remember much of the details, but yeah, Jeremy Renner's good and Rachel Weisz always good. But I just like the original trilogy a lot more. Okay, up next, I don't know how most people felt about this film, but I enjoyed it for the most part. And that is Dark Shadows. Of course, the latest from Tim Burton and Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp plays a vampire who gets cursed for like 200 years. And then he comes back to find his old family home in the 1970s, sort of in a shambles. Ava Green, really fun and sexy as the witch who curses him. She's good in this. Yeah, fun supporting cast: Michelle Pfeiffer, Chloe Grace Moretz, Jackie Earle Haley as well. Michelle Pfeiffer, like I said. Yeah, fun film, good music. A fun performance by Johnny Depp. I liked him a lot in this. Sure, it's a lot of the same sort of stuff that he and Burton have been doing together, but this is a little bit different from the likes of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and Alice in Wonderland. So yeah, I thought it was pretty cool, and I love Chloe Grace Moretz and pretty much everything she does these days. Dark Shadows. Okay, up next, I'm not sure if many people saw this film. I didn't hear many people talk about it when it came out, but I enjoyed it, and that's Flying Swords: The Dragon Gate. Martial arts film, of course, starring Jet Li, directed by Tsui Hark. I don't remember much about this, but I enjoyed it. Lots of great martial arts fighting scenes. Jet Li is pretty awesome. Not as good as films like Hero or House of Flying Daggers, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, but it's sort of in that same vein. Yeah, lots of fun, loads of great action sequences, lots of flying swords and so on and shit. Flying Swords of Dragon Gate. Okay, up next, a sci-fi film that going into it I wasn't really expecting much, but I ended up sort of liking it, and that is Lockout. Film was written by Luc Besson. He presents. Luc Besson presents, basically produced the film, I guess. Starring Guy Pearce and Maggie Grace. Maggie Grace plays the president's daughter, and she goes up to this prison space station, and she gets held hostage, gets captured, and Guy Pearce is like the rogue agent who has to go up there and rescue her. A lot of fun. Guy Pearce is really fun in this film. Lots of great one-liners. Maggie Grace looks really good in this movie. Yeah, it wasn't great, but a cool sort of sci-fi action film with a fun performance by Guy Pearce. I liked it. Sort of in the Luc Besson style of action. Yeah, it was a pretty cool movie. Okay, up next, one of the first movies I saw in 2012. I think it came out in January of that year, and I enjoyed it, even though a lot of people don't like this actor. And that is Man on a Ledge, starring Sam Worthington, um, Elizabeth Banks. Who else we got in this? Anthony Mackie, Genesis Rodriguez, very sexy in a couple of her scenes. Ed Harris and Jamie Bell. Of course, Sam Worthington is this guy about to jump off an apartment building in New York. Elizabeth Banks is the hostage or negotiator who goes up there to talk him down. But meanwhile, Jamie Bell and Genesis Rodriguez are like breaking into the building next door. I'm a little fuzzy on the details, but there's a heist going on, and Sam Worthington's character is involved. I thought it was cool. I thought it was fun. Good cast. And yeah, Genesis Rodriguez, really sexy in her scenes. I enjoyed those, that's for sure. So that's Man on Ledge. Okay, up next, a film I've heard a lot of people rave about and talk about. It was good, but I didn't love it as much as some people. But it's a good movie, and that is The Raid Redemption. Um, yeah, Indonesian martial arts action film. It's directed by Gareth Evans. That sounds like a pretty American name, but it's an all Indonesian cast, and it's in Indonesian, about this SWAT team that goes to this tenant building, which has been overrun by a drug lord, and the SWAT team has to fight their way up all these floors. Lots of sort of bone crunching martial arts action in this. Loads of fun. Yeah, really cool film. A lot of people talked about this as one of the best action films in years. Yeah, I thought it was good. I didn't love the ending. I thought the ending was a real sort of letdown. What happens there? I hear they're making a sequel that comes out this year. The Raid Redemption, cool film. Definitely worth checking out if you like action films and martial arts films. Okay, up next. Yeah, again, another movie that I'm not sure how most people responded to. I enjoyed it. Always liked this actor. And that is The Raven with John Cusack, Luke Evans, and Alice Eve. Of course, John Cusack plays Edgar Allan Poe, the great writer, of course. And his stories have inspired a murderer, kills a couple people, and the local detective investigating the case sort of enlists the aid of John Cusack, Edgar Allan Poe, to help solve the mystery. Yeah, sort of dark and creepy atmosphere. Good performance by John Cusack. I almost called him Joan, his sister. Yeah, I thought it was a cool film. I love the original The Raven, the 1935 version with Bela Lugosi, and I also watched the Vincent Price version a couple years ago, which I also have on a double feature, midnight feature, during the month of October for my 31 Days of Horror. But yeah, so this is my third The Raven title, the modern 2012 version with John Cusack. Pretty cool film. Okay, last but definitely maybe least, in some people's opinions, I might get some shit for this one, I'm sure. But I enjoyed it, I'm not gonna lie. And that is the remake of Red Dawn. I love the original Red Dawn from 1984. Awesome film with Patrick Swayze, Charlie Sheen, Jennifer Grey, Leah Thompson, and so on. Great cast in that movie, and I just love the feel and look of that film. This, I know a lot of people didn't like that they were redoing it at all, but dude, they're remaking everything these days, and they didn't like this remake. But the cast was good. Chris Hemsworth, I thought, was really good. The only person who I really didn't like was the guy who played his younger brother, Josh Peck. I thought he was sort of a letdown. Josh Hutcherson was good. I liked Jeffrey D. Morgan as the veteran soldier that they encounter. And the two girls, I don't really know them that well. Adrian Padalecki, is that right? Yeah, Adrian Palicki, sorry. And who's the other one? Isabel Lucas. They were pretty good as well. The reason why I did like this movie is because it captured the spirit of the original, I thought. This time, of course, the U.S. gets invaded by North Koreans instead of Russians. And then, of course, these high schoolers take up the fight, sort of a guerrilla warfare. Wolverines! Yeah, I fucking love Red Dawn, and it sort of captured the original spirit of the first film, I thought, even though some of the performances weren't great. But the action was cool. Yeah, some really good action scenes. Just a cool film. I liked it. Don't hate. So those are my 8 Blu-rays from 2012. One more Blu-ray update to go from 2012, and I would have completed my wish list for that year. So let me know what you think of these films, if you've seen any of them. Thank you for watching as always, and until next time, I'll see ya.